it's Tim with Collect Jurassic, and before we go any further, yes, I know this is not a Jurassic toy, but if you're a subscriber to my channel, you probably remember when the last Godzilla movie came out. What is it? King of All Monsters? I don't even know. I just love the toys, so I always make an effort to pick them up, and I did review them on the channel last time, which was super fun. I think a lot of people were into that, so I figured the new movie was supposed to come out, and it isn't, but the toys are still coming out. That's Godzilla versus Kong, the movie. But yeah, the toys are hitting, so I am going to go ahead and do a little bite-sized review of one of these Godzilla figures. If I get more, we'll see. I might do more. But yeah, bite-sized review, so short, sweet, but to the point, and we'll definitely get some awesome looks at this figure. Not just in the box, but I mean, the box is great. You have this awesome Godzilla versus Kong artwork on the back. You know, Kong looks awesome. I mean, look at that. But Godzilla, of course, is my favorite, who I'm rooting for. Got that nice bluish tint that seems to be sort of like a thing with the new movie. But yeah, I mean, this is really cool packaging. I think the packaging we got last year, maybe with the original Godzilla, kind of left a little something to be desired. I think it was Bandai and then Jakks Pacific. But this year it's Playmates, and they really made this packaging and the figure, which I'll get to, very like action figure-y, very cool. This reminds me of a Jurassic figure through and through for sure, with the tail popped out and this whole artwork. And then of course the back too, you have Godzilla with heat ray. That's the name of this figure, so kind of showing how it works with the battle damage and the atomic breath, or heat ray, I guess it's not atomic breath. Then the other figures you can get, which I cannot wait to find. I hope I can find them. There's Radio Tower, Kong, Skullcrawler, Warbat, and then another Kong. So awesome. I can't wait to get some more of these figures. But yeah, the packaging is super fun. I mean, if you're a toy collector, adult toy collector, you got to appreciate good packaging when you see it. And this one definitely has it. Oh, I just noticed the flaming buildings. Die cut out here on the front, of course. Kaiju wrecking some cities. Got to have that. But very nice packaging. But enough about the packaging. Let's go ahead and get the toy out and get a look at that, because that's what's super exciting. I actually already opened one up off camera, so I'm going to go ahead and move this aside because it was a little bit of a process to get it out. But there it is. Actually, I'll go ahead and so we'll go ahead and get this in the shot too. It looks nice. Sorry. So this is the Godzilla with heat ray action figure. Very cool. The first thing I had to check, because these Godzilla figures in the past have been a little disappointing, is that there's no screw holes. That's awesome. It's literally a solid sculpt figure and just kind of put together without any screw holes. So I appreciate that right off the bat. What I also appreciate right off the bat is these translucent blue spikes. I mean, how cool is that? We've seen a lot of, atomic breath Godzillas or heat ray Godzillas with blue spikes, but they're usually painted, which certainly looks cool. But this translucent, I mean, nothing beats that. That's separate plastic. And that kind of continues on into the tail, which is painted blue, but it's pretty seamless, honestly. Elsewhere on the figure, it's basically just dark gray with some washes of light gray. You can see on the camera. So subtle detailing. All the Godzilla figures always have all that subtle detailing. So this one is kind of just, doing the same thing the rest do. Articulation wise, of course, that tail comes on a nice ball joint, so you can do all kinds of cool stuff. I love just the base kind of pose for the tail, dragging along the ground. I have a few other Godzilla figures, but none of them kind of get the tail quite right as far as the length goes. But with this toy being detachable in the package, and the package being sort of set up the way it is, you can really get a really long tail on this figure. The legs also move. They just go back and forth. They're not any kind of ball joint. Same with the arms. They just kind of go up and down and back and forth. I really do wish they put a ball joint on these, so you kind of do a little bit more, or at least a hinge and a rotation joint, just so you could do a couple more dynamic poses. But it's all a budget thing. And then of course the head too goes left, it goes right. It also has an mouth that opens, which I didn't realize at first, which is just a really nice touch. It's very tiny, very small, but the details there. I got the eyes painted, the tongue, the teeth, and yeah, it opens and closes. I mean, that's kind of fun. And the reason it does open is because you can go ahead and put that heat ray in. It's got a little peg on it that fits into the roof of his mouth pretty well, actually, and then boom, he is shooting out that heat ray. Whatever he wants, he can roast. He can roast stuff on the ground. He can roast Kong's stomach when I get a Kong figure. He can do all kinds of cool stuff. So that's kind of a fun little accessory. It's nice that it's not tied directly to the figure, like glued into his mouth or something. You can pop it out. And again, it works really well with those translucent blue stripes back there. So yeah, I mean, oh, how could I forget? What else is very cool about this figure is the battle damage. And this has totally got Jurassic Park vibes written all over it. You can't even see it, right? I've been showing you this figure this whole time, and you probably haven't even noticed that it has battle damage because the piece is kind of hidden that well. But there's a little thumb mark that you can use to tear it off here, and then there it comes out. And then you can see inside Godzilla, if you ever wondered what it looked like. He's got some ribs and some gore. So yeah, a big tear out of his stomach there. And this little piece, you know, just like Jurassic. Reminds me totally of the Carnotaur piece. Hopefully no one loses this like everyone lost battle damage from Jurassic back in the day. But yeah, you can do all this cool battle damage, and it looks like on the back of the box, you know, the other figures have that battle damage too. I hope it's as sort of low key on all of them as it is on this figure. I mean, again, you can put it on this figure and sort of like forget that it's there. I literally almost finished this review without talking about it. And then it really just goes back in pretty easily. It slips in on the top first, then pops in on the bottom, and then boom, it's gone. It's totally disappeared into the figure. So really nice job with that. It's there if you want to use it, but if not, it's also not, you know, taking away from the aesthetic of the figure. So yeah, I think this one for me totally hits the marks. It's $10. Awesome action figure. Great Godzilla rendition. And of course you have that atomic breath too, which is super fun. So I love this thing. Cannot recommend it enough. And again, I'm going to try to pick up the other ones. No, it's not a Jurassic toy, but hopefully some of you out there watching got something out of this review. Maybe you didn't know about these toys and wanted to know a little bit more about them. So I appreciate you turning in. Again, I'm Tim from Collect Jurassic, and I think that's all I got. So I will see you next time.